Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. What began as an anti-encroachment operation by the MCD in Delhi in the heart of the capital has snowballed into a political flashpoint. The demolition drive ordered by Delhi High Court targeting structures adjoining the Faiz-e-Ilahi Mosque. As bulldozers rolled in, resistance mounted. Crowds gathered, stones were hurled, glass bottles rained down and police personnel were injured. Tear gas had to be used to disperse the mob and 5 arrests have been made so far. Multiple videos have emerged. Crowds, it appears, were not spontaneous, as they hardly are, but deliberately mobilized. Religious slogans were raised. What makes this episode even more combustible is the political link. Samajwadi Party MP Ramlila Ground was seen at the site. Was he lending legitimacy to mobocracy then, is the question. Political leaders are now raising questions of selective targeting, pointing to temples nearby that remain untouched. The narrative of victimhood is being woven and the judiciary itself is being dragged into the political storm. But as the dust settles over the Turkman Gate episodes, the capital stares at a disturbing reality. When the law is resisted with stones, when politicians stand shoulder to shoulder with mobs, and when court orders are met with violence, is that not the problem? And it isn't the first time this has happened. Why provide cover fire to mobs? Who is enabling this violence in the capital? We'll take that up and more with our guest joining us in just a bit. But here's what panned out as far as the national capital late last night is concerned. Bulldozers were rolling in at about midnight last night, and a mob of around 100 people had gathered. That's what the police says. At one point, it certainly looks a little bit bigger than this. But remember, there was also heavy police deployment. They started protesting, raising slogans, but as it usually happens, soon after, Stone-Pelting started and several policemen were hurt. Now, what further raised eyebrows, as I said, was the presence of the Samajwadi Party MP Ramlila Ground, who was also seen arguing with officials at the violent site. He can be seen in the melee with the protesters and with the heavy police deployment. Now remember, this is the same MP who had in parliament recently threatened that Muslims might have to do jihad because of the Waqf Amendment Bill and other court atrocities that are being meted out to them. As the situation spiraled, the authorities had to resort to a mild tear gas use and lathi charge in an attempt to control the situation. The police does say that the situation was stabilized fairly quickly. Now, at the helm of this chaotic showdown remains the Delhi High Court order. Here's what that order is stating. Now, the court ordered the removal of illegal encroachment spanning about 38,940 square feet. This is surrounding the Ramlila Ground. This is actually property considered to be part of the Ramlila Ground. A November 12, 2025 order granted the MCD and the PWD 3 months to clear this site. The action targeted unauthorized commercial and community buildings, mind you. These include a banquet hall, a dispensary, shops and illegal road or footpath extensions. The officials had confirmed to all concerned that the mosque itself and even the adjoining dargah remain untouched as they occupy the land covered under a valid 1940 lease. Now, just hours before the demolition, though, the Delhi High Court issued notices to several authorities, including the MCD, the DDA, the Delhi Waqf Board, in response to a petition filed by the Mosque Managing Committee. The committee argued that the land is a notified Waqf property and specifically sought to protect a graveyard on the site. Justice Amit Bansal noted that the matter court requires consideration, but there was no stay on the demolition of the other encroached commercial structures leading to this late-night operation on January 7. The case is now next scheduled for a hearing on April 22. Let me just also, for the benefit of our viewers, show you the area in question. These are illegal encroachments in the area surrounding the Faiz-e-Ilahi Mosque near the Ramlila Ground. So here is the Ramlila Ground. There is the empty space that you see. It's a very popular ground in the national capital. This is the mosque per se, but there are illegal encroachments, etc., that are done around the mosque property. The mosque gate, etc., itself has been considered to have encroached space that is technically not their property anymore. So the mosque is untouched. Why this furor? Why the mobocracy? Why a street veto to a court order? And more importantly, who is enabling this pelter terror in the capital? That's the big debate coming up with our guests.
भाई ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग भाई दरगाह फैज-ए-इलाही पे पहुंचे। इन्होंने देखो बुलडोजर भी बुला लिए हैं और इनकी पूरी मिलिट्री भी आ गई है। आप लोगों से भाई हाथ जोड़ के गुजारिश है।
सभी लोग को पता है कि कोर्ट के आदेश में हमने ये कार्रवाई की है।
बीजेपी की सरकारें हैं उसमें ऐसा लगता है कि वो किसी विशेष धर्म को या विशेष चीज़ों को लेकर थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा उसमें एक्टिव दिखती है।
भाई जब जायदाद वक्फ की है तो वक्फ क्यों नहीं है सर्वे में? जो
ऐसे उत्पाद कर रहे हैं वो गलत है, उसके ऊपर पुलिस ने अपनी जो कार्रवाई करनी है।
I spoke to Joint CP in the Delhi Police, Madhur Verma, on what transpired and what is the action that has been taken. Listen into what he said. What happened when the demolition drive was underway? Can you detail for our viewers? Also, what has the investigation found so far? Because 5 individuals have already been arrested for stone-pelting.
True. It was around 12:50 when MCD was about to start the demolition. There were incident of stone pelting reported from this Chandni Mahal area. There were a few miscreants, maybe around 80 to 100 in number, and they started pelting stones towards the police party. However, we had an adequate deployment. We followed the graded use of force. We used our tear shells, and they scattered, and we immediately detained and apprehended 5 of them. And thereafter, in a matter of minutes, they all scattered, and the entire process of encroachment removal carried on peacefully thereafter. That it started around 1 a.m. in the midnight and continued till 7 in the midnight. And at the moment also there is complete normalcy, and the process of debris removal is being carried out.
So 5 individuals have been arrested. How many more do you suspect were part of the stone pelting act itself? And what stage is the investigation is at?
We have registered the case. 5 persons we have arrested. They are being produced to the magistrate. We are also investigating the conspiracy angle. Why there were some social media posts also which were instigating or asking the residents to come out and protest. So we are investigating those social media posts also, and then we have body-worn cameras with our police officers on duty. So we are checking the images from those body-worn cameras. At the moment, apart from these 5 arrests, more than 10 persons have also been interrogated, and they have at present been detained and interrogated, and their role is being probed. So investigation is going on.
There is the presence of a SP MP, a parliamentarian on ground, which has come to light. Those visuals are also going viral. What can you tell us about the role that this parliamentarian, Mr. Nadvi, played?
As of now, I do not have much to share about the role as far as this investigation of this case is concerned. As we started the process of demolition and encroachment removal around 1 o'clock, and as per my understanding, by then that MP, Honorable MP, was not at that scene. So, keeping into view the all possibilities, our team is our investigating team is looking into all aspects. As of now, I don't have much to share on that aspect.
But people had collected before this demolition drive was supposed to happen around 1 a.m. in the night. How many were there?
people, you mean protesters? They
Yes.
were, our initial estimate was that around 10 or 11 in the night, there were around 100 to 150 persons. That was in some of, then there were some few of them probably added and few left also when the police party started coming for arrangement. Actually, our deployment started at 11 a.m. and continued till midnight. So around there were maybe around 100 odd individuals were left, and they only probably pelted stones. However, the situation was brought to control in matter of minutes only, and entire exercise carried out without any hindrance for the entire duration.
So some questions are arising on why this happened in the dead of the night, post midnight or at midnight. Can you explain to us why the demolition drive was carried out at night?
See, your question has got two aspects about the presence. This is a very thickly populated area of Old Delhi. This area comprises of Kamla Market, Chandni Mahal, and Daryaganj. There is, a very thickly populated area, and there was, of course, some sentiment being, thrown to the masses, which is against the administration, against the corporation, against the police. Otherwise also, whenever there is encroachment removal drive, there are groups who resist it. So, though Delhi police had taken number of meetings, explained it to them, Nagarik Suraksha Samitis, Aman Committee meetings. So even then, there were maybe 100 or 150 persons who were present, which is not, very abnormal as far as that number is concerned. And regarding the timing of the drive, I believe, if we carry out, because this was a massive encroachment removal exercise, it required a lot of diversion of traffic, especially the traffic from Minto Road, Minto Bridge to coming towards, LNJP or maybe Asaf Ali Road, or similarly from Bahadur Shah Jafar, the traffic going towards this LNJP, and which is, or the traffic coming from Rajghat had to be diverted. So the best possible scenario is to carry these exercises, when there is least effect to the commuters. So timing, I don't, see anything wrong in choosing the timing of night hours, and especially, when we are doing an exercises in a very thickly populated area.
Joining us now, our guest Gopal Agarwal, national spokesperson of the BJP, and Vivek Shilas is national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party with us. Vivek, I begin with you. What was the need for your parliamentarian to go to this area, raise heckles, and, basically with his presence, lend any support to the kind of protest that was going on with stones being pelted, bottles being thrown at the police officials? This is, after all, after a court order.
First of all, good evening to you and the viewers, to Mr. Agarwal as well. I think after the statement just now given by the Commissioner of Police Delhi, I have nothing very substantial to say. You must have heard and seen the statement of Mr. The Samajwadi Party member of Parliament. When he heard that the news that something was happening at Turkman Gate, he was worried that the people might go out of control. So he went to the spot. And he went there and appealed to the people to go back to their homes. It can be seen in the video that he is appealing to the people to be calm. And obviously, it was a court order given by the court, and it was implemented. Why to make a hue and cry of it?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why his presence is raising eyebrows. He's suggesting he was there for a particular reason. But this is the same MP from your party who had recently spoken in Parliament, and in the context of the Waqf Amendment Bill, had gone on to say that Muslims in India will have to do jihad. And this is not like, I'm not contextualizing it. I'm not paraphrasing him. He said Muslims will have to do jihad because of what is happening to them. And this was in context of the Waqf Amendment Bill.
Yeah, that could have been his personal views, what he said, that doesn't mean that the party is saying about it. Party is saying something or following his orders.
You don't think it's a problem that the party should look at, that your MP is saying Muslims will have to do jihad?
No, ma'am, let me tell you one more thing. You were talking about stone pelting and, bottles throwing on the policemen. You just now mentioned it, Shivani ji. You know what? I'll just remind the viewers who are watching it. and I'm reminding you and Mr. Agarwal as well, that 14,000 stone pelter cases were taken back in Kashmir by the Bharatiya Janata Party, claiming that they are innocent just to form the government in Kashmir. Please do question the
I
Bharatiya
don't think
Janata
they were
Party
ever
as well.
claimed as innocent. The amnesty given in Jammu and
Some
Kashmir.
of their cases were taken back, Shivani.
Yes, the
How can you
amnesty,
be-
one second, the amnesty given
How
in
can you
Jammu
be
and
so
Kashmir
biased?
to young stone pelters is a completely different issue because Jammu and Kashmir cannot be compared to the national capital, mind you.
Why? Jammu and Kashmir is not a part of India. That
But
is
it
what you need
has
to
been
say.
terrorism ridden, it has been conflict ridden. Please don't compare it to the national capital. This is like 3 kilometers away from the parliament.
We have seen terrorist activities recently in Delhi as well. What are you talking?
Please
What
don't
are you
compare
talking?
Kashmir and national capital, sir. I think you understand
Why?
the point that I'm
Both are
making.
part of India. Both are part of India, Shivani ji.
So you are saying
What
strong
are you-
action should be taken against stone pelters in this case, right?
Of course, it should be taken.
But you didn't answer my question. Vivek Shilas, before I go to Gopal Agarwal, you didn't answer my question. Your parliamentarian was on record to say Muslims will have to do jihad. I think that's a pretty inflammatory call to Indian Muslims by him, whatever the context may be in parliament. Then he goes to this spot. You say he's gone to soothe down the nerves of those protesting. But why would people believe that if he has made such statements in context of Waqf Amendment Bill and this property is being claimed as Waqf property, so it all kind of comes together?
You know, Shivani ji, I would just request you with my folded hands, if you can show me just one video about the Samajwadi Party parliamentarian yesterday night, that he was trying to provoke the mob. Can you show me just one? Just one. 5 seconds to say. What did the commissioner of police say? That his presence was not there. There were about 80 to 100 people. And
No,
it
he
was
said
the
his
matter of
presence
few
was
minutes.
there, but not when he was there. Not when the police
Of course.
CP himself
And it was
was
a
there.
matter of minutes that the mob had to go back. It took police, according to the commissioner of police, it took a few minutes for the Delhi
So
police.
you would
to
not be
scatter the
in
mob.
approval. Your party will not be in approval if he was seen there trying to join hands or make a truck with the protesters. You would not approve of it, right?
You know, of course. And you know, if anyone, be it the Samajwadi Party leader or member of parliament or
Okay.
anyone from the Bharatiya Janata Party or Congress, no one is allowed to take the law in
Okay,
his
so now
hands.
tomorrow
As
if he
simple
makes
as
a
that.
statement, I'm going to keep this. If tomorrow he makes a statement in support of these protesters, then Samajwadi Party would be duty bound to take some action because he's already
Yeah,
said
you can-
Muslims will have to
you
do
can-
jihad
you can-
and then he will be seen at this protest site. Okay.
You can
Gopal
call me to
Krishna
the
Agarwal.
studio, I'll answer your questions.
Fair enough. Gopal Krishna Agarwal, respond to what Vivek Shilash is saying, that just his mere presence doesn't mean that he was instigating protests. Police has not said anything on his role, but the BJP has already kind of leveled a charge on all opposition parties that, you instigate protests even against court orders. We've had statements come in from the likes of Asaduddin Owaisi, from the likes of Sandeep Dikshit in the national capital, but they're only saying that, there is a heightened action against Muslims in India under your government.
Shivani, we have to understand the history also behind it, what is happening. Before 2014, in 2013, 123 important properties were handed over to work by the then government at that point of time. Why it was done before, just when the election was declared for 2014, it was for appeasement. We have seen since independence how the Waqf property is growing across India and it has become the largest property owner other than railway and defense. How it is done, who are controlling the Waqf, how much they are doing it for the benefit of the common people, downtrodden people in their community, and how much it is benefiting the people who are in control of the Waqf property, Waqf board. So these are the issues very important. And when the action is taken against them, there is an ecosystem, ecosystem which rises against this and creates this narrative that only one particular community is being identified and attacked by the ruling party. When you do this kind of act before 2014, you hand over 123 properties, important properties to one particular community to create a vote bank, to create an appeasement politics, to create a communal politics in the country, then if you have to take action against those 123 properties which have been illegal, which have been taken through the manipulative process of work.
Okay.
Then if we are taking action and implementing the court order, rule of the law, and this is because one particular community is facing the charge because since independence, there was a communal political atmosphere ruling dispensations which were doing communal politics in purely name of secular politics.
Okay, so
seconds.
Vivek Shilash, please respond. BJP is not shying away from saying that a lot of these properties were quote-unquote gifted to the Muslim community, particularly the national capital property, very prime property. But all over the country, there's been a large debate of how a lot of properties have been just declared Waqf property, and there is no head or tails of how those properties became Waqf in the first place, including this mosque property. It is still under question, mind you. The case is still ongoing.
And when we take action, there will be this kind of hue and cry.
Okay, Vivek.
No, I think there are honorable courts, High Court, Sessions Courts, Supreme Court in the country who are there to decide which property belongs to whom. And Mr. Agarwal just now pointed that it's the opposition says that one particular community is targeted. No, my dear. I'm sorry to say.
Sandeep Dixit, even Congress leader, SP leader, they are saying.
Agarwal ji, please, it's a serious matter. It is the Christians also who are targeted.
Opposition leaders are saying.
It is the Christians also who are targeted in India. And the message that is going through the Western world, we can see the repercussions about it. How Indians have been treated in Christian countries.
Hindus being targeted in Bangladesh? No statement.
That is your responsibility. That is your responsibility.
You will talk about
that is entirely your responsibility.
Okay, can we come back to the subject? 1 second. Can we come back to the subject? Vivek Shilash, is there an attempt, by and large, to provoke Indian Muslims, let's say because of that Waqf amendment? That amendment has also been scrutinized by the Supreme Court. Some sections have been put in abeyance, but it hasn't been nullified. But why is there this sense being promoted by leaders on ground, including your party leader, as I quoted him, that some injustice is being done?
नहीं, injustice is also done when the Honorable Prime Minister says कि आपकी भैंस उठा ले जाएंगे, आपका मंगलसूत्र छीन ले जाएंगे और आपकी बेटियों को घर से उठा के ले जाएंगे. What is that? Ultimately, we have to follow the law of the land. Being Indian and responsible citizens. हाँ? कपड़ों से किसको पहचान लेते थे मिस्टर अग्रवाल? ना. कपड़ों से किसको पहचान लेते हैं प्रधानमंत्री? प्रधानमंत्री कपड़ों से किसको पहचानते हैं आपको? या शिवानी जी को या मुझको?
कह रहे हैं वो इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स के बारे में कह रहे हैं.
अरे कितने इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स को आपने निकाला हिंदुस्तान से? आपसे 25 गुना ज्यादा तो यूपीए की सरकार ने निकाला.
सिस्टम काम कर रहा है.
अरे कब निकालोगे यार?
नहीं, रुकिए. Let's not get diverted. Vivek ji, I have limited time. Please focus on the issue. The bottom line here is that this is not the first time we've seen this. Stones have been pelted on Hindu processions. Stones have been pelted on police for other anti-encroachment drives. And any time it's the minority community involved, let's say it is their locality. It recently happened in Karnataka. Even Congress government was blamed for anti-Muslim politics. So basic point is that if it's an anti-encroachment drive, if it's the minority community that is involved on the other side, you cannot act on it. Should we send down that message?
I said what the Honorable High Court had given the verdict about this land, we have to follow that. Nothing, there is no second opinion about it, not at all.
So
not at all. We have to follow the law of the land.
Okay, last comments, Gopal Agarwal.
It is important to note that why most of the actions are being taken which particular community cries foul, it is because of the reason of appeasement politics before, one thing. Second thing, the reaction, the provocation that the political cover and political persons give to them, this particular committee is also important. When you start seeing any action of the court, implementation of the rule of law, from the vision of one particular religion or etc., that is creating
Mr. Agarwal, the police has
any decision, any action, any administrative action.
Take its course.
So
five of them have been arrested. They will be put into jail. Their plea will be heard in the
but
court.
his
and
party
justice
and
will be
his
done by the
alliances
law of
are
the
not
land, that
saying
is
what.
all.
You know, it is ordinary Muslims who get embroiled in these cases. We are talking about this in the shadow of that Delhi riots case as well. We all know how instigation was done against anti-CA at that time. Whose lives get destroyed? It is ordinary Muslims' lives on ground. But who benefits from it? Maybe politicians who want to just, you know, kind
It's the
of
party and
spread
the
this paranoia about victimhood. Maybe both sides. Let's say all sides benefit from it. But actual politics that would help Indian Muslims would be those politics that doesn't instigate them into taking the law in their hand, because then they suffer. Nobody comes to protect them afterwards. But